What's up YouTube, and welcome to another video on a more competitive and more serious meta deck. This one will be on Sivir Akshan Shurima Demacia, probably one of my favorite decks of all time. So as you might know, it has been completely busted and overpowered in previous metas, but now after the nerfs it still feels like a top tier contender. And at the same time being fair, not being overpowered. And I very much feel like this is very close to how Legends of Runeterra was initially intended to be played, because it's super duper interactive. There are a lot of micro decisions, a lot of small important decisions to be able to play this deck well. And it's very combat centric, it's very board oriented, and that is the most fun part, I would say, in Legends of Runeterra, right? Getting into combat and trading off some combat tricks and so on, trying to be efficient, resource oriented, but also having some spicy combos and a lot of creative combos to close out the game. So the list has not changed too much over the course of recent times, but ever since Ruin Runner got nerfed, there are definitely better options in that 5-drop slot. 5 mana units have been replaced, mostly with Vicorin Bruiser, and that's a very spicy one. That's one I really like, because it synergizes so well, not only with Sivir. If she's leveled, you can give her some buff that she shares with the whole board, but also with the Warlord's Palace or Warlord's Horde, helping that countdown immensely. So as of right now, this is much more of an Akshan reliant deck than it used to just be a Sivir and Ruin Runner deck that could close out the games without ever finding an Akshan. As of right now, in most matchups, you'll want either an Akshan or a Vicorin Vagabond to get a Warlord's Palace early, and you'll often need to draw Akshan at some point in the game. I'll just talk you through everything real quick. We've got some very strong early game units, some of the strongest 1-drops in the game arguably. Then we have followed up by some of the strongest 2-drops in the game, also generating Warlord's Palace early on, which will later pay off in making us stay ahead in value. Then we have Merciless Hunter, still one of the stronger 3-drops, especially paired with some quick attack units like Akshan, like Sivir, or just pulling that unit while having it protected by Brightsteel Protector Barrier. There are so many ways to make use of that vulnerable keyword. The only 4-drop right now is Sivir, but also one of the strongest 4-drops in the game, especially in this deck, with the lucky finds from Vicorin Bruiser and with the 2 Absolvers we play that can just finish a game super duper effectively. As well, Sivir is the best way of getting a benefit from that vulnerable keyword. And what has changed a bit is Vicorin Vagabond. You definitely want to play 2 or even 3 copies of this, because you want that Warlord's Palace very consistently. And the other thing that has changed is the top end. So as of right now, I like to play 3 Concerted Strikes, a bit less other interactions. So only 1 single combat, 1 Cataclysm, and 3 Concerted Strikes. Part of the reason is Aloof Travelers. We really want some more value and more high cost cards. The other reason is that a card like Vicorin Bruiser just benefits so immensely from Concerted Strike. Like, getting that strike effect without the unit taking damage usually means you'll get even more lucky finds. And like I said earlier on, those lucky finds are insane because this list is very Akshan landmark oriented right now. I also really like to splash in a Screeching Dragon. Again, partially because of Aloof Travelers, partially because it's just a very good card, especially if you can pair it with some protective combat tricks or with lucky finds. Talking about protective combat tricks, we have Shaped Stones and Sharp Sides. Still not sure if you want a 3rd Shaped Stone. Like, right now this feels good, 2, 3, and 2 Absolvers, just because there's not enough space to really fit more. But you for sure want 2 Absolvers, and you for sure also want 2 Golden Aegises. These are your most effective finishers. If you get a Sivir on board in time, usually you can level her around turn 6, 7, 8, and on that very turn getting a Golden Aegis while also having mana open for the Absolver and the Absolver's return is usually game ending. And keep in mind that we said we're very often playing for the Akshan landmark, which means Warlord's Horde right here often also counts down around those turns 7, 8, 9, and that gives us the opportunity to play Fount of Power. Draw 2, your cards cost 1 less this round, and that allows for some crazy combo finishes, which now means the Golden Aegis only costs 3 mana, and at the same time the Absolver parts only cost 1 mana each, which means you can already have that part of an insanely strong rally combo finish turn for just 5 mana. And often you'll have more mana left open. You can play your 1-drops for 0 mana. You can play Waking Sands. You can basically play 1 mana 5/2s for that rally turn. So a bit similar to the Discard Scion video that I already posted. This list has gotten more combo oriented and can play a bit more for control. It's not as fast as it used to be with the Ruin Runners, but that just gives it much more creative ways of closing out games and much more options in how you want to play this deck and how you want to attack it as well. So I have a lot of good gameplay examples for this list. This has been my most effective list on climbing. I think I got to like rank 15 or so on Europe with this. Sadly, I didn't have the time to continue playing, but I'll see if I can climb even higher and secure maybe one of the top 10 slots for the upcoming seasonal tournament. I would definitely recommend you to check out some gameplay examples. I think it shows the diversity, the versatility that this deck has to offer, and the many ways it has of getting ahead on the board, snowballing the board, and then finishing the game in style eventually.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
You mean by end of season stable? Tiebreakers. Seasonal 7-2. Like the cutoff is still in 8 days. I won't really have time to climb. So I'm trying to do it in advance as much as possible. Concerted's probably a keep. Bruiser is too greedy, I think. Level Tristana into Tenor is nuts. Yeah, that's actually true.
We got it first. It's a trap.
Not quite sure what my opponent's list plays. I think it's fine to take that block, otherwise that's just Pokestick fodder. Then again, Pokestick that hits a 2-1 does not hit Sivir Spell Shield.
Must be nice living off stolen coin.
Conservator? That was main decked. What the hell? We're in for some spice. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Dune, right? I'm still surprised they delayed the release so far in the United States.
I know what I'm worth.
It's incredibly suspenseful, the movie. That's for sure. Like, there's definitely some edginess in the storyline, but it's... I mean, I'm a big fan of any movie that Denis Villeneuve makes, or whatever, however you say his name.
Take everything.
Halt.
And I actually thought it was really, really interesting. But I haven't seen the old Dune movie, and I also didn't read any of the books.
So many tiny.
Bruh! Why you do me dirty like this? I can't concert it when my opponent has Pokestick mana. Single combat sucks. I think it's just Treasure Seeker into Merciless.
Deadly traps, angry guardians, bunch of gold. Artist gonna make a
I'm wondering if they play single combat. Okay, fortunately for me, that's not even that good. I prefer keeping this Sivir alive over replaying one.
This pay by the hour.
Wait, you'll go to 2 attack, sharp side. Actually, I'll just replay her, right? Sharp side, you'll be a 4-5. Maybe keep Merciless alive. Mage Seeker Conservator Giga Chat. It's actually a perfect description. An accurate representation of events.
I've got a price.
Confine and contain.
Okay, now I'm really scared of this dude. I mean, freaking telescope into a 5/8, 5 mana 5/8 was already kind of rough. Okay, interesting. Let's Hollywood rope for a bit. Man, I wish I would have kept that bruiser. God damn, we're getting outvalued here. Gonna give Runation. Runation is fine. Something like Field Rush is not fine. Or War Mother's posture check. Alright.
Nothing. Elf, that's not ours.
What was the telescope card? At least we're getting a decent open attack. Can I tell the order of card? I don't think so, no. Okay, we're not getting an open attack.
We're not taking it. We're taking it back.
It's a consideration to play Shaped Stone first and then get another Palace. But I don't know yet which one I want to Shaped Stone. Because this is vulnerable to Pokestick, right? I don't think I play him this turn.
Business as usual.
Draw them blind. Search them.
Always nice talking with you. Loping Telescope. Okay, so now that we know we have Bruiser, it actually sucks big time to have missed out on the Palace. But it did pay off in keeping the Mercy, like baiting out the Pokestick basically.
Didn't ask for more.
Okay, now I'm really scared of whatever that card pulled. Any reason to not play Bruiser? Yes, our opponent plays Heimer Lux and we need Concerted Strike mana. Hey, my boy! I'm scared.
Talk is worthless. We are what we do.
We'll see which one of us is stronger, Akshan.
Have we met?
Man, I can't believe I'm really playing around Ruination here. Alright. We have breathing room.
Astounding curiosities. Red skulls, bag loot.
Feels like some heart removal. I mean, heart removal in this region combo is not the most common, eh? Not necessarily an abundance of heart removal there. Weird hand.
Time is money.
Let us take a peek at life beneath the waves.
I mean, I'm not really closing out the game, but my opponent's also kind of never getting anywhere.
My hello there, little rogue. You are quite slimy.
Top deck Absolver, maybe? Oh no. close.
It's a living.
Wipe it off.
Persistence is key. Easy does it.
I need to draw my game enders, absolvers, and Aegises.
Wonder how much this is worth.
Excuse me? Why would I ever care about waking sounds? Oh no! Wait, I actually want this to get discarded though. This progresses Warlord Sword. Scared of Rally. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Like now in combination, it makes sense to prank this to 4. Play around Golden Aegis. All I can offer the guy are overpriced concerted strikes. Still get both, right? Yeah. Wait, if we use the cheap one... No, either way we can play Rally if we draw it. Man, Heimerdinger is such an OP card. How did it not get tweaked yet? I can't understand. Just gifted gamers. Just natural talent. And years of experience. GG.
One step closer to a world without villains.
How much LP is rank 45 gonna be at the end of the season? Bandle Tree. He win last game. Yes, he did.
I do not break rules, I bend them slightly. Villains beware.
You best believe I don't play.
Definitely shutting down Ionia here.
Hug it out.
How does Sivir Akshan always draw a million champs? Look at all the draw we play though. And some of it is semi-tutored. And my opponent can already play Buster Shot. I don't think open attack's good.
Gift for Renekton. Right, Arda?
She beat the best player on Team Serbia? Playing the strongest deck in the game as well. That was a tough one. That was something to be proud of.
Got a gun.
Okay, his opponent's hand is stacked with jump blockers but low value. Poppy is scary. Man, next turn. Oh, Bruiser, Sivir, Akshan, and Merciless Hunter. Let's do it. That was a super greedy Bandle Tree. I mean, maybe my opponent's hand is just semi-bricked, but... find it somewhat unlikely that that's gonna get very far. Climbing for 7-2, yes. I might already be there, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Also, you never know if you have to climb for worlds or not. Is it ever plus attack here? No, right? We still want the... Wait, it's 10, 17 plus attack would flip, but we still need Absolver and Aegis.
Save itself, you know.
Assuming opponent plays 2 or 3 mini-morphs, Aegis is the better finisher.
What was theirs is now ours.
Honor is the rust on a dull blade.
They have a World's tourney for every season. They have regional tourneys for every season.
This is justice.
Danger pays.
Circle time.
Do you think Draven Kate is bad for that, or do I maybe need more practice? It's okay, but not great. It's incredibly hard to play, and you kind of fall to Sion and to like Pink City. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it for climbing specifically. Oh, no combat trick. So Bruiser is probably toast.
Subterfuge, hidden clues.
It's wild. Where? We win on the next open attack.
Their guilt is evident.
What's behind this door, you think? Deadly traps, angry guardians, bunch of gold.
Aloof is still a card, but so is Poppy. Let's see. Aegis now plays around another Buster Shot.
Business as usual.
In and out.
Careful.
Yee.
Blood or gold. I always get my share.
Let's cook 'em.
Don't really care about your units that can't block fears. I don't think there are burst speed answers on my opponent's side here. GG.
The real treasure is friendship. That's the gold.
Shaped Stone would be better, but Sharp Sight is fine, I think. Need something to contest Stone Stackers.
Not flammable? Is that a challenge? I am wearing my goggles.
Don't want to die? Don't do terrible things.
Did somebody say explosives? Blow him away!
Let this go through Sivir Cataclysm Ziggs. I think we take too much damage though.
One for you and one for you!
Hope our opponent doesn't go super wide here. Do I bluff swing with Akshan? I think I'm usually tending towards over bluffing. Should probably chill out every now and then. Okay, not looking too bad.
No one's the wiser.
Probably getting fervored. Somewhat stable, but we're also pretty far from closing out the game ourselves. Good thing is it looked like our opponent didn't really have units to develop, right? Bad thing is that means that their hand is stacked with decimates and fervors. It's probably another fervor. That is 7 burn gone and a lot of mana. Should be GG. But you never know against burn decks. Like I said, this might be double decimate and a fervor.
Everything's in place.
Hug it out.
Is that worth it for him? I doubt it. I severely, sincerely doubt it. Absolver play Bruiser? Suppose. Looks really weird, but I think it's correct. I'm not sure if I can close out the game next turn, that's a big issue.
Next thing I know, I'm up my britches in purple berries.
Knuckle time. Wonder how much this is worth.
have my orders. Go get a shiny devil.
Get lucky if I discover lifesteal. No. Zapper! Thank you for the 16 months. Yo, it's been a while. Appreciate it. I think I can let Ziggs hit me, right? Could block both though. It's not too much of a downside to it.
The world won't save itself, you know.
Some array of pokey sticks is gonna be annoying, but that's about it. That looks like a pokey stick. I think if he pokes here, I guess.
Always a pleasure catching one of your streams. Keep on keeping on.
I'll do my best, Raven, thank you. Try my best keeping on keeping on. I called it! I literally freaking called it! Ah, this game. There's too much for me. Now all he needs to have found is like a frickin'... Yeah, anything at 3 HP or more. That's technically 3 HP. I don't know, I should have maybe played... the Hunter first, just because it's better against fearsomes, right?
For the Empire. Make the Empire proud. We'll get our licks in.
As long as they don't find like frickin' Tenor of Terror or lecturing your lore or whatever. Just give me a good blocker. And not Absorber the 5-2 because it grows to 9 and my opponent blocks at 3 with the stackers.
Explosives prime.
I'm using Absolver here, by the way. Because then the Warlord's Horde pops. Was lethal missed last turn? No, but if you see a missed lethal, feel free to tell me, but I very much don't see it. Hallelujah. This was about to become the biggest robbery that Runeterra has ever witnessed. Shapestone is very good in this mirror, but oof, that looks better.
Quick hands make quick work. Watch your head.
Scores to settle, crooks to kill. You know how it is. This is justice.
Interesting. Looks like we're outvaluing our opponent.
Gotta find a gift for Renekton.
Right order.
Step lightly.
Love it.
Taken. We're not taking it. We're taking it back.
This means my opponent can't go Hunter into Sivir before I can. I mean, I benefit from the passing game. I think with this hand I can bob Sivir.
All that glitters is
Otherwise my opponent hits turn 7 first, they can play Sivir and Merciless first anyway.
Must be nice living off stolen coin.
we love it when they run. My shield is yours.
Aegis is kinda cute. I can let the Sivir go though.
Honor guide me. We'll get our licks in. This pay by the hour.
No Shaped Stone in hand. Most likely. This mirror match is very interesting as long as one person doesn't like completely overrun the other draw-wise.
Time is money.
Why on this one? Preserve the barrier, okay. Looks good to me. I don't think my opponent wants to rally here anyway, right? keep tracker alive is interesting. It looks like they don't have combat tricks. Maybe sharp side here. Close call. Why didn't he single combat the Bright State Protector? He might have wanted to shut down the Sivir level up. Might be thinking he can't survive against an Absolver.
Know what I'm worth.
Sherby, thank you for the host. This is an aloof traveler free stream today, I promise. Alright, I not quite. I played some discard Scion with aloofs. But as of right now, we're just going back to a good old classic Demacia. Next turn, Ruddy should win in most cases. Made it to Masters! Congrats! Also keeping it real with the Plunder deck. The real question is, did you play Feel the Rush in it or not?
We're not taking
Ooh,
taking it
it's
back.
potentially scary.
Danger pays.
Wrap 'em up tight.
Next turn we try to Aegis Absolver.
I go where the trouble is. It's never
Won my last game with FTR against Digit. Yeah man, Panda is really efficient at polluting the ladder with toxic ideas.
Talk is wordless. We are what we do.
Scumbag Panda.
I bend them slightly.
Alright, I think we're fine here. Just open up with Aegis, and I don't think anything can possibly go wrong. Akshan div? More like Sivir div. That was a really interesting one though.
another victory to fill the coffers.